Ladies and gentlemen, the most exciting stage show you've ever witnessed.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Professionals. I am your host tonight, Graham Nolan. The Professionals is a rotating show that goes between all the bros alphabetically, and G is the last one up, and that's me. We're going to have a thin team tonight. One of our members, our buddy Aaron, is out sick, got the stomach bug, not good. And Billy is busy cleaning out a car for Deb that has to return the lease tonight. So he might be in a little bit later. But that's not to say it's still not going to be a great show, because the wonderful and amazing RT Bear is here.
Who needs those guys anyway?
And this guy.
You know it. This guy.
He's here too. So we haven't been blacked out yet. After running our trailer, so we
the trailer, yeah, that seems to be a trend with us.
Yeah, well, at least with you and Billy, me, Aaron, and Andy so far have been batting 1,000. So we shall see.
The YouTube algorithms like you best,
right? I mean, come on.
Who knew?
So let's start off our show with This Week in Comic History, because that is what prompted our discussion, or our soon-to-be discussion today, and that is This Week in Comic History. Superman 75 was released, and that is, of course, the famous death of Superman. How many million copies got sold? 6 million, something like that? 8 million? Something like that. It was crazy. And so we want to talk about these big events, crossovers and large events that the companies used to do more often. Is there a place for them today? Do they still work? Do they put asses in the seats, as it were, or people going through the doors at the comic shops? So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Just real quick, since you mentioned the death of, I came this close to being the inker over Dan Jurgens, the finisher on that. And for years, Dan Jurgens, he used to just rub it in, because the thing is, I did the months that led up to the death of Superman. I was the Action Comics cover artist. So I did all the covers for the year. So at the same time I was doing that, I was working on the FF with Art Adams, and I was working with Jim Lee on X-Men. And so I was doing all these projects at the same time. And so was it Mike Carlin was a little nervous about, is Art a Superman guy? Is he a DC guy? Is he a Marvel guy? He didn't know if he could trust me, right? So I only got just the information I needed to do the cover, right? Because when you worked on the Superman books, you got all the reference, everything everybody was doing every week that's sent out. It was absolutely fantastic. and like sketches, everything, all the behind the scenes stuff. And so when I got when Mike and I were having the conversation, I was like, why aren't I getting this stuff anymore? And he's like, Mike is just brutally honest. He's just like, I can't trust you anymore. he just says it. He goes, I'm not sure if you're like, one of the Superman guys. I go, of course I am. And so anyway, I would just get just enough. And I think it was Bogdanov's designs of like Doomsday. But he was all, if you guys remember the way they brought him in, he was like wrapped in like I don't know, rags or like some kind of like
he had like some full body suit so you couldn't see his face or anything.
He had like goggles and stuff like that. And so then I would just get that, like, okay, this is the new character. It's like, oh, he looks pretty boring, so I'll draw him on the cover, whatever. And so then I got to do one cover where it was the first one. It was called 300 Miles to Metropolis or whatever, and it's Superman and Doomsday like going at it like side to side, like rushing at each other. And so that was that's the closest I really got to any of that stuff. And like,
who drew that cover?
Who did that cover?
Yeah.
I drew it.
Oh, you drew it and inked it?
Yeah, I was hired to pencil and ink like the Action comic.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Here, so I did like 12 covers or whatever it was, and that was the last one I got to do, which was the biggest, the baddest. And I was so in the dark. I had no idea what they were really doing. I knew it was something top secret, but I didn't know exactly what. And like I said, Jurgens for years was like, "Don't you wish you didn't leave? Don't you wish?" And I said, I don't know. I worked with Jim Lee on the X-Men books, and for about 10 years, we pretty much set the standard for the industry. So I was like, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, so I looked it up. It sold over 6 million copies. And, when you said it came out today, earlier when we talked, I was like, oh yeah, because I was living in Florida. So, Florida at this time of year is like, spring. It's still nice and warm. So when you said that, I was like, oh, I thought it came out when it was warm out. And then I realized I was in Florida. I remember getting up at like 4 a.m. because a buddy of mine owned a comic shop and he was invited down to the local station, to be on the news and stuff. He's like, you want to go? And I was like, yeah, why not? So, I remember it, and I never fell into the category. I don't think any of us three did, of, oh my God, we should buy lots of copies. I mean, I bought one, and I think within the past decade, I did buy one that was still a poly bag. Just why not? It's not like it cost a lot. So
I have the poly bag one. I didn't buy it, but DC sent it to me because I was.
Is that the one that had the armband in it? The red armband, red and black.
It might have. I don't know. I didn't open it.
I didn't open it either.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I bought one just to have it because I've got one, obviously regular edition, but I never had a poly bag one, so I figured, for $5, why not?
Yeah, that thing made mainstream news, boy. It got picked up by every news outlet. It was pretty crazy.
Well, I think the first one that made, headlines and money, at least in the comic industry, was the Secret Wars. Earlier in the 80s, that kind of set the standard for these giant crossover, interconnected storylines and stuff. Now,
that was the first
Superman
Maxi series.
I'm sorry?
That was the first Maxi series.
Right.
They ever did.
12 issues?
Yeah, and then the first mini series, and I'm sure if I get it wrong, somebody in the chat will correct me, but I'm pretty sure the first 4-issue miniseries was Wolverine. The Frank Miller, Chris Claremont Wolverine.
Hey, how much, I always wonder this, like historically speaking, like time, like you guys are more comic historians. Okay, so you had Secret Wars and then you had Crisis. So how much time between Secret Wars and Crisis?
2 years, I think.
Okay.
I think.
Quite a while.
I think Secret Wars was 84, and I want to say Crisis was 86. But now part of me thinks it was 85. So somebody in the chat,
it was 85.
Yeah, it might have been a year.
It might have been 80 because I was up at DC, and I remember Sal Amendola telling me that Carmine Infantino has just finished his last issue of Flash. And I said, what do you mean? They're canceling the Flash? He goes, yeah, they're killing the character off.
He told me flat out. Oh
yeah.
my God.
Yeah, he told me that they were killing the character off in Crisis, and that there was just be a whole new realignment and stuff. And I think that was 83 or 84 when I was up there. Now, that's a good question. Let's look that up.
Which series, while you're doing that, which series do you think was better executed? Crisis or Secret Wars?
I'd say Crisis, because Secret Wars, Crisis, Marcus says, was 85. Secret Wars was just based around the dumb toys, and that's why, Shooter was all about having Zek make sure the camera was pulled back, and all that, because spotlight the toys. And while it was cool, when Crisis came out, I thought Crisis was just better, because Crisis to me was DC saying, yeah, we've got so many with the worlds and all this crap out there.
Right.
Let's really try and get more cohesive. Whereas Secret Wars was, it's a toy thing. You know what I mean? That was like the point.
Right. And Crisis was like a coherent storyline.
Right.
And it pretty much did get into all of the DC history. I mean, there were like cameos beyond cameos in that, like deep dives, characters you never even heard about were in that thing.
Yeah. Secret Wars is May of 84, and Crisis Crisis was April of 85.
Oh, okay.
So almost a year apart.
But the thing is that DC Crisis, there was so much research. I mean, I don't know how Marv Wolfman and the team brought that thing together. I mean, there was so much research. I think they were working on it that whole year. So I wonder when they started it, like how much after Secret Wars. You know what I mean? Because there had to be, it seems like there'd be at least a year involved in just developing that thing, doing all the research and stuff.
That's a really good question. I never thought of asking George that the few times we talked and stuff, but I would bet, I don't know if anybody in the chat knows, and I'm sure it's probably somewhere written down, like now, but I'm going to say, I bet George had 3 or 4 in the can before it came out. That's my guess.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's at least 3 months if you went back in time, towards Secret War. So that's 3 months taken off of that year. So it's pretty much safe to say there's at least 6 months. So that thing, they probably started working on it 6 months, maybe sooner after Secret War.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Start working on it like maybe August of the year 84. Mm-hmm. It came out in April. So start writing it. And when I say working on it, I don't mean development. I mean when Marv started writing it.
You're talking about Crisis?
Started writing it.
Crisis,
huh?
Yeah.
Your Crisis? Yeah.
Yeah, Crisis. Maybe he started writing it in August.
They had to be thinking about the end result, because Crisis was all about unifying the DC universe and get rid of all those various Earth 1, Earth 2, and Earth Q and all that kind of shit. And then the intent was, to launch new versions of their characters, like when Baron and Geis did the Flash.
Yeah.
And I think that set up Man of Steel too, right?
Man of Steel was like a year 1, because they came out with all the year 1 books after that. So like Frank Miller and Dave Mazzucchelli, and then George Perez and Lynn Wein on Wonder Woman.
Yep.
And so on and so
all that came out of Crisis, yeah.
Yeah, after Crisis, all the year 1 stuff. Yeah, which was smart, man, because they kept that going DC was always accused of not being able to keep things going, but I think they did a pretty good job with that Crisis on Infinite Earths. I got to ask you guys now, okay, looking back, because I look back at like Watchmen and some of these books that I actually praised, and now as an older guy, I kind of look back and go, I'm not sure it was as successful as it really seemed at the time. Mm-hmm. So, Crisis, do you think overall it was a good idea? It stands the test of time? Or do you look back and go, there's nothing wrong with the way the universe was? Why did they have to try to make it just one universe? That kind of thing.
Well, so much of it has been kind of retconned back.
Yeah.
So I think the answer is, yeah, they made a mistake, because, really, I mean, people want Barry Allen as the Flash. They want Hal Jordan as Green Lantern, and so, that was a lot of the stuff that they were doing was getting rid of that stuff. I think they even have, like, now that they can use multiverses, they don't even have to worry about Earth 1 and Earth 2 anymore, No. Oh, it's the multiverse Superman, who fought in World War II, and, there's a million ways around it, but I think they got locked into their continuity, got strangled by their own continuity, when everything, trying to please fans by explaining everything away, Yeah.
I kind of look back and I think, like, because and you guys have been hearing this since you started the industry. It's like, oh, well, where's a good starting off point for new readers? And there's all this convolution with all this backstory, and there's two Batmans, there's all this stuff. And they were like, it's just too confusing for readers. But you know what? I grew up in the 60s. I remember Earth 1, Earth 2. I remember the multiple Earths and stuff like that. And to be honest, I looked forward to the JSA Justice League crossovers. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, those were great.
They were epic, man. Remember when the Spectre stopped the two Earths from colliding? And I guess it was Earth 2, and he died in the process. He kind of expanded himself and was like some kind of cushion between the planets.
I almost think they made it like the time period you're talking about, Art. I don't think it was really that convoluted, right? I think they made it more convoluted, like leading up to Crisis. And somebody in the chat said that Crisis stemmed out of something from 1982, which I have no idea. But it almost seems to me like it wasn't that convoluted, but then they were like, well, let's do this thing, and we'll make it seem like it's more convoluted than it actually is to justify us doing this thing. You know what I mean? Because we all grew up, relatively reading comics in the 70s, 60s, whatever. I never really was like, oh my God, these multiple Earths in DC. Oh, my head, I can't take it.
And you remember there would be slight differences between Earth 1 and Earth 2, like Batman, like the Batman of Earth. I can't, was our Earth 1?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the alternate was Earth 2. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Where he just had Earth 2.
Right. So he just had the bat without the yellow circle around it. So they were like little things. And I remember as a kid, you're reading these things, you're like, wait a minute, that's not my Batman. You know what I mean? So it's actually kind of fun when you start discovering those things and going, oh, that's the Earth 2. And then did the other Superman, did he have a gray streak? What was his tell?
The other Superman had the graying temples, right?
Yeah, he was the older. Yeah.
He was like you can almost say, and not that George Reeves had graying temples, but he was the more golden age, bulkier like Superman than the regular one.
The one I never understood was like Adam. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say what precipitated all this was when DC decided they were going to reboot their characters in the 50s to a new audience and created the Barry Allen Flash versus the Jay Garrick Flash, and the Hal Jordan Green Lantern versus the guy who was allergic to wood, Alan Scott Green Lantern. So now you've got these different Green Lanterns and different Flashes with different origins, and so they had to explain them away. And at the time, I thought it was great when the Flash met Jay Garrick for the first time. I thought that was super cool. And I loved in Green Lantern when like Gil Kane would get to draw the Golden Age Green Lantern too, because I really liked Alan Scott until they turned him gay, you know.
That was a great issue.
Yeah, I mean, he had that sidekick Doiby Dickles, who was like that cab driver with the Brooklyn accent, you know. I love that.
I got to ink one of those old time. I don't know if it was the original creator of
you ink Martin Odell, if I remember right.
Yeah, and it had that little sidekick dude in it. Yeah,
you got Kurt Swan too, you bastard.
Yeah, for the I got paid to do it. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I never had a problem with it. I thought some of the Earth One characters were a little weird, like Adam. Like I was like, the Atom, you're the new version of the Atom. But that made sense. He was an atom. He could shrink, atom size, and molecules and all that stuff. But I was wondering, like, where did the other guy get the name, the Atom? Like, he was just a small guy, but had strength, right?
Oh, you're talking about the JSA Atom?
Yeah.
I don't know. Outfit. Yeah, I don't know where he got the name, but he didn't shrink or anything. That was just his name, right?
He was just a small guy that was strong, and I was like, what a lame character.
Exactly right. Jay Garrick was the first, not Jay Garrick, Alan Scott was the first married superhero.
Yeah.
Small guy with atomic fists is what they're saying in the chat.
Oh, atomic fists. Okay.
So
that could be fun.
That's kind of Iron Fisted.
He punches a guy and there's like a mushroom cloud where his head used to be. That would be so awesome to draw. I've had it with you.
Batman and Little Boy.
That's right. Atomic punch.
But now wait, when they did that, so going back to when they did the stuff where they introduced, Hal, which means you've got the Golden Age one still on a different Earth. Same with Barry Allen, Jay Garrick and stuff. How did they then, because this is before my time, how did they branch off a Superman to the one and the Superman over here, and same with Batman? Because up until that time, there was only one Superman, one Batman. So how did does that question make sense?
I see what you're saying. They sort of just skirt around it, saying that the modern age Superman that you've been reading that interacts with Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, and Barry Allen Flash is the Earth One Superman. The Superman that fought in World War II. Same thing with Batman, with the bat without the yellow emblem. That was the Earth 2 one. That was the Golden Age. So if you read those Golden Age comics, that was that guy.
Right.
Now, so they still existed, which I thought was cool. Like the continuity still somewhat existed, but there was just an Earth 1, Earth 2. And what I always thought made the most sense was, and I stand by this, Captain Marvel Shazam should not have been brought into the DC universe proper. He should have, what was it? Earth, what was his? X? Earth?
Something remember. Like that. It wasn't like a 1 or a 2. It was a letter.
Or
F
Earth
maybe,
Prime.
like for Fawcett.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was something, but I always thought it worked better. I always liked that character more in his own universe versus the DC universe. And who was the guy that had the mastermind to go into the Silver Age? Was that Carmine Infantino or
no? That was
Julie.
Julie Schwartz.
Yeah,
Julie Schwartz. What a genius idea! You talk about a guy that doesn't get enough credit in the industry. My goodness, man, that was just. I mean, I don't think there would be a Marvel universe if there wasn't for that Silver Age. If there wasn't for,
I mean, well, Fantastic Four was basically, you could say, kind of born out of them doing Justice League, right?
Yeah.
Except, Stan was more about humanizing and stuff.
Yeah.
But,
well, the DC also did Challenges of the Unknown too.
Right.
Which,
and not to take anything away from Marvel and Stan and Jack, but I really do think, that move brought superheroes into the modern age. There was still there was still a lot of work that needed to be done, and Marvel did do that work and made, more contemporary characters that would stand the test of time, because their frailties were personal. They were like their personality or stuff like that. It wasn't like fire or yellow or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Earth S, yes.
Those sticky excuses for weaknesses always killed me about DC characters. The power ring doesn't work on yellow, or it doesn't work on wood. I mean, it's like,
I know.
I mean, kryptonite. Okay, it's a plot device. I get it now. You got to do something to bring Superman down, but the other stuff seemed kind of goofy to me.
Yeah, kryptonite never bothered me, because you go, well, it's from his home planet, so it affects him, with that radiation, whatever. That never bothered me. But yeah, the yellow was kind of like you said, it was kind of like, yellow, really? But I'll take that over the wood. Because the wood, I'm just like, wood.
Well, then there's fire. There's fire with Martian Manhunter.
Oh yeah, Martian Manhunter's fire.
Yeah, like a Bic lighter, you could take the guy down. It's really strange. Yeah. Did you guys? I remember this worked when I was a kid, and they ditched it with Superman. Was lead. Remember, like he couldn't. Was it he couldn't see through it, or
couldn't see through it? X-rays can't pass through lead.
Right. They ditched that idea, right?
No.
It still
That's
exists.
real science. I mean, that's why you wear a lead thing when you go through.
That's real science.
Yeah, X-rays can't pass through lead.
Okay.
That's why when you go to a dentist, they put the lead.
No. I understand, but I'm just like, we're equating it to comic books. It's like, no, it's real life. Yeah, you can't see through lead. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always liked it as a kid, because it also gave the villain a little extra, thing, because if he couldn't get his hands on kryptonite, he could hide whatever it was in lead,
Right. Well, that's our thing they would do too is, Graham, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but when like Lex would take kryptonite up to him, he would put it in like a lead case. And then, Superman be all cocky and Lex would be like, oh yeah. And then it's like,
marry me.
Right. Here's my kryptonite ring in a lead box. So
yeah.
That was fun stuff. But
so what would be the first crossover then? Would it be the Justice League, the JSA Justice League stuff, or did it predate that?
Well, I mean, that's not.
Let me just answer Marcus here. Kryptonite created for the radio show when Superman actor was sick for a week. It was actually Kryptonite appeared in a story that wasn't published that Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster did. You can read it now. I forget where it is on the internet, but somebody has published it now, and you can read it. And it's really interesting because the whole point of it was it exposes Superman to Lois Lane. And Lois finds out that Clark Kent is Superman as a result of this. And because where they were going to go with this storyline was to have Lois be an accomplice to Superman, to help him out, to help him get out of binds. Like when Clark Kent, she could run interference for him. And I thought that was so cool that even back in like 1940, they're thinking about having Lois know that Clark was Superman and be a helper to him, the same way that Margot Lane was a helper to the Shadow. I thought that was really cool.
Well, I remember when I saw that Superman Man of Steel with some DC guys, and Carlin was there. I was sitting next to him, and so he said, "I think it wasn't Man of Steel. It was the one before that, the Bryan Singer one.
Oh, Superman Returns.
Wait a minute,
Superman Speedo.
I can't remember. I think it was Man of Steel." And he said the best part of the movie was that they didn't play Lois up as a dope. Like she figured out that Superman, Clark Kent was Superman. And so
that had to be Man of Steel then, yeah.
Yeah, he said that's one of the things that bugged him all the time, while he was the editor on the Superman books. And the one thing there was a few things with the James Gunn Superman that I liked. And just to your point, Graham, that they brought in like that Lois and the Daily Planet characters were kind of like they were heroes and they worked at the same time that Superman was doing his thing. So it's almost like they were running backup for him because they knew that Superman was only going to be able to go so far with it. But with the power of the press, they could destroy Lex. You know what I mean? In a bigger way, in a way that would hold up in court, things like that. And I always thought that that was the best part of the Batman stuff too, is that Batman had Commissioner Gordon. So one thing Batman can't do, since he's a vigilante, is you can't really have him being like Judge Dredd. He can't be judge, jury, and all those things. He has to kind of work within the system. So if he has an accomplice that can do that, then he could give Gordon the clues, something that would hold up in a court of law, and then Gordon could go through the legal channels, and then they can convict those guys. I mean, they don't really get into it that much, but I always thought that that was like one of the strengths of the Batman stuff, was that there was two prongs to it. There was a guy that could do things that Gordon couldn't do, and there were things that Gordon could do that Batman couldn't.
Well, back in the 40s, they actually duly deputized Batman as an officer of the law, so that when Batman went out and arrested people and brought them into Commissioner Gordon, it was it was legal, because he was deputized to do that.
Don't you think that kind of like the cool factor of Batman goes down a notch though, like working within the law? like just give him a badge and you get him a uniform,
Yeah, right. That's the whole fun of Batman, is how he skirts all this stuff. Like in a real world, half this shit wouldn't be admissible in court.
Exactly.
He'd be a vigilante. He'd be abrogating the rights of that criminal. By bringing him in. But that's the whole point of Batman. Is that when he came out, people were sick of crime and organized crime and stuff, and they wanted somebody because the law was not doing the job. It was being corrupted and used against the regular citizens and stuff like that. And this was an opportunity to have a guy come out and do the right thing. It's just, again, it's the great thing about superhero comics for me has always been that they're universal truths is what they explore. There's right and there's wrong, and then there's the law. And these comics, especially when they first came out, were always dealing with the right and the wrong.
I love that too. I love the moral play in the comics. I think that's to this day why I still love those things. And one of the things about the Batman Gordon things, it's just so it's so well done. Like when it's done, by the right people stuff, it's a really cool dynamic, and it can work if it's written properly. If people understand, like I guess procedural stuff, things like that. And one of the things that Batman taps into, and you see it still, like in our day, there was like Lethal Weapon or these type of movies, or what was the NYPD Blue and all these kind of things.
Oh, right.
And there was always like some kind of rogue cop, right? And it's like even in Lethal Weapon, he goes, "I'm not a cop tonight, Raj," and he puts the badge away. And for some reason, you cheer for that guy, because you've been watching the story and the bad guy is a bad guy. That's the key.
Right.
The bad guy is a bad guy. So when Riggs puts that badge away, he's going to go kick that guy's ass in a way that a normal cop can't, right? And so there's that visceral part of you that wants to see that. Oh, he's a child molester. He just takes justice into his own hands and just beats the shit out of that guy, right? And you're cheering for it. But the thing is, I remember having conversations with some people. They didn't understand it properly, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. That's what we want." And I go, "Well, that's not what you want in real life. You want due process, but these are
what if you're the guy on the other end, and you're being accused of something, and you really didn't do it."
Right. And these are wish fulfillment stories. So they create a character like that that's a little rogue and will go off and he'll do the shit that you would love to do, right? You'd love to punch that
Right.
guy in the mouth for like molesting that kid or whatever it is, you know, or dangle him outside the window, like some of the stuff that they did in year one, like, you know, hang the guy outside of a balcony or whatever, get him to confess, or, you know, these type of things. And I think that those are cool wish fulfillment, you know, and that's why I think Batman, for me, it's always
all the old characters used to do that, including Superman before he got homogenized. You know, Superman would take a guy who was a wife beater or an arms dealer selling, you know, arms to our enemies. He'd throw them out a 12-story window, you know, or he'd throw them a mile away, you know, and you never even saw them land, you know, but you knew the guy was dead. Batman, you know, he had guns because he was sort of a Shadow rip off in the beginning. But the Shadow, I mean, come on, man, this guy, you know, he doesn't have to take you to court because he knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men. You know, that's his superpower. He knows you're a piece of shit, and he's gonna kill you. He's gonna get you those two guns blazing and render justice right there. I mean,
there's no doubt about it. That's one of my things, like a Perro Spectre in Adventure. You know, like he would just dispense justice, and he would like an eye for an eye. You talk about eye for an eye. Man, he would take, and he would kill you, you know, but he would take you down in the most horrific way. And usually it was by your MO,
right?
You know, like whatever you were doing to these other people, he would do it to you. And you just stuff like the guy was throwing people in wood chippers or whatever. So he turned this guy into a block of wood. And he didn't throw him in the wood chipper, but he just sat it right there, and he knew the guy that was coming to work would throw the thing in the wood chipper and threw the guy into the wood chipper.
It was like a bandsaw. It was like this big saw.
Oh, that's what it was.
And it cut the log,
cut him up,
with the guy's face and everything, you know, all cut him up into slices of wood.
Like a Looney Tune kind of thing.
That was great.
So here's the
question. Melting. He had a dude melt. You know, the Spectre would just go, you know, and the guy would melt away.
All right, so
was cool.
Might I ask? Can I go on a slight tangent real quick because of we're
the bros. That's what we do.
Okay, this is a tangent, but it works because it made me think of it when you guys are talking about Batman and, like, you know, due process, blah blah blah. So the setup is I'm listening to this new podcast. And it's about John Wayne Gacy. Now, the podcast is hosted by the son, who was the defense lawyer of the son. His dad was one of John Wayne Gacy's original defense lawyers, right? So after, what's it been, 40, 50 years, however long it's been, his dad gave the son all these tapes that have never been heard before. So part of the podcast is him playing the tapes and stuff that you've never heard of John Wayne Gacy talking to the lawyers, blah, blah, blah.
Ooh.
Where this comes in, basically there's this receipt, and this one receipt that they were able to get was a linchpin in the cops being able to arrest John Wayne Gacy and bring him in and all this stuff. However, truth can now be told, the receipt was not obtained legally. And if the judge would have known that, he would have had to have thrown it out, which means Gacy would have been out, let go. And if Gacy was smart, which he was, he would have been like, I'm out of here. And he would have taken off.
Wow.
So the question is, and this guy, you know, the guy's son, and his dad's still alive because he interviews him on the podcast. You know, the son is like, I'm a defense lawyer. Don't get me wrong. Gacy was a piece of shit, obviously. However, what do you do in this situation? And it's like this is a great podcast. And it's just like, holy crap. So,
well,
everybody go out and check it out. So, other crossovers? Do you guys have?
Well, coming out tomorrow is the DC version of Batman Deadpool. The Deadpool Batman came out from Marvel, probably a month ago. And I bought it because I like Greg Capullo's art. I like the art. I thought the story was such a letdown, it wasn't even funny. So I have higher hopes for tomorrow. I've seen a couple of, early reviews saying the DC one is much better. Dan Moore drew it, so I'm getting it regardless because I like Dan's art.
Yeah, he's good.
But those are new ones. And then
who's the writer on that Batman Deadpool?
Oh my God, I knew you were going to ask. So the one that came out, damn it.
Is it Faction?
No.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. I want to say this can't be right. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. But the one that comes out tomorrow, I want to say it's Grant Morrison. I'll tell you in 1 second. It is Grant Morrison.
Okay.
So I was right.
So
it's going to be weird.
Crossover. That's an intercompany crossover, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So what was the last event? Like Crisis of Infinite Earths or the New 52, or what was the last big event that involved like the entire line of books that either Marvel or DC did?
I mean, DC's doing one now. It's just nobody cares because they do them every year now.
Right.
It's literally like a yearly thing.
So that begs the question. What worked before with Nightfall and Death of Superman and Crisis and Secret Wars and many others that have come since have been very successful in bringing people into the comic shops.
Sure.
Is this just a question of poor execution, or is it fatigue on the buyer and the cost? Because when they started doing that stuff, a Marvel comic was 75 cents, and now they're like $5. So if you've got to buy all those issues to be part of the next Secret Wars or whatever it's called, that's a lot of investment. And do they shy away from that because they know people won't do it, or do buyers shy away from it because of the cost?
I mean, I speaking as somebody that goes to the shop every Wednesday still, I can't remember the last event thing. I think it was a Marvel thing. And I still was like, no, I'm not getting every single one. And this is like probably a decade ago, some X-Men thing. But now it's like you're saying, I'm just like, no, I'm not doing this because you got to go through and get all the other books. And I'm just like, forget it. I'm not doing that. And in the chat, they're saying DCKO, which, DC Knockout is what they're doing now.
That's what I couldn't tell you. Knockout?
What's that? Yeah,
That's
Knockout.
Oh, okay.
And I couldn't even tell you what it's about because I just don't care.
Yeah.
The last big crossover event that I can remember was the Amalgam books. Remember they did the big DC Marvel.
Yeah.
And then they had like
that's going way back.
Or
yeah, that's to the late 90s.
That was in the 90s. Yeah.
Early 90s. I mean, I think it was Randy. Yeah, Randy brought up Justice League Avengers by Perez. That was obviously 2005, 6, something like that. I think. So that was big, but I mean that wasn't one where you had to buy more stuff. It was 4 prestige format issues, and you're out.
Hey Graham, share my screen here.
Ooh, show and tell. Yeah, how'd you like it? You inked that, right?
Yeah, I inked the Ultraverse, I think is what it was called, the Malibu stuff.
Yep.
With the Avengers, and George was the penciler. I don't remember who was the writer, but this was like the big double page. I'm sorry, it's low res, but there's like Ash, like Casada and Jimmy Palmiotti's character over here. There's like there's American Flag. there's a bunch of independent stuff in here, along with the Malibu characters and the Marvel characters, and the ones that are circled in green are actually black and white. So they got to be in one of these big old crossover events. And I was very thankful. I thought that was neat.
Was this just drawn regular 2-page spread size? He just put 2 pieces together?
No, this was 2 pieces together. Yeah.
I said, yeah, just 2-page spread, right? Just
yeah.
Standard. He didn't do it like bigger. He just
no. Yeah, it's just a normal size, 11 by 17. But I thought that was very cool, and it was way more of a challenge than I thought, because I always wanted to ink George Perez, but I think I was working on 2 other projects at the time, and inking George Perez really is a full-time commitment unto itself. So it was a little tough. Yeah, it was a little tough, but it was good fun. And once again, I'm sorry, you guys, it's not better resolution. I searched all over for something that was better resolution, but yeah, I worked on a few of these big,
that's cool art, but that's very cool. But you know what wasn't cool is after you inked it, you cut out your characters and sent it back to George, so it had that hole right there, because you're like, I'm keeping my black and white by George Perez.
Right. And I put it up on the wall, put it in the frame. Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But I think
how long did it take you to ink?
Crossover. Oh, I'm sorry. The first big crossover for me was that Superman, Spider-Man. Holy shit balls.
Oh, well, that was the daddy of them all.
Oh, you're talking about the DC one, right? The Ross Andrews.
DC Marvel. Yeah,
DC
the
Marvel.
Treasury
right.
side.
You're talking about the first one by Ross Andrew. That was the DC version. Yeah.
No, that wasn't DC.
That was? I thought that was the DC one.
There was only one.
Well, there was only one, and they both published it.
No.
Yeah, there was only one version of it.
The John Buscema one came out second, but Marvel had more of the control over that one, is my point. Whereas
I think there's only one version of it. Yeah.
No, there's the
no. Andy's right. There was the one that John Buscema, that Jim Shooter wrote and John Buscema drew, which came years later. That was like in the 80s.
Yeah, it was the first one was what, 77?
76.
76, that's right, because in January they're reprinting it. They're doing a facsimile of it for the 50th year. And then in February, even though the second one I think was 81 or 80, in February they're doing a facsimile of the second one by Buscema. And then in March and April, they're actually doing 2 new Spider-Man, Superman crossovers.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you were saying there were 2 different versions of that same book, but there's not. Yeah.
No, not at the same time. No.
Yeah. But I think DC handled the actual printing and publishing, but they each had to have, the characters had to have X amount of panels, so that everything was even and stuff like that. The editors and the artists, most of the guys that, like Jerry Conway, he wrote for both companies. Ross Andrew had worked for both companies drawing Superman and Spider-Man. Dick Giordano, was chosen as inker to tie in the DC stuff. And then there was somebody from Marvel too that was involved. It was a balancing act, but man, that Spider-Man Superman one was something else.
That blew me away. And then also Walter Simonson's Teen Titans X-Men. That was a one shot, but that's how they should do it again. Just do one shots, but make them like an epic page count, like the Treasury size. I don't know how many pages that is, but it's more than a normal comic book. And then the Titans X-Men thing.
Weren't those Treasuries like 64 pages?
Probably.
The like the Superman Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Maybe 100. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't know. I never counted.
Billy knows how many.
But I can ask Brock.
Did you clean out the car?
Dude, you have no.
Get all the blood out of the car.
And then the guy starts talking to her. I'm like, I gotta go about a new car. Because releases. So for everyone out there, I apologize, Graham. Debbie, just with the stress that's going on with her mother and all this stuff that we have, and her uncle died, and we were in Jersey yesterday all day for a wake, that her lease was up on her truck. And on her Traverse, she has a Traverse, a 2023 Traverse, and the lease is up, and we have like 65 miles to go because the guy's like, use that mileage up. So we've been using it, Anyway, so he's like, well, it's like I don't know how much it is, $560 a month or something like that, and they're like, you have to, it's due today. You're supposed to bring it in yesterday. She's like, oh, well, we were in Jersey all day. My uncle passed away, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, well, you got to bring the car in today or you got to pay for another month.
Ooh.
Another, $560.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm sorry. That's when she came up. We were talking.
Yeah.
I got to talk to you about something. Like, what? And like, my truck is immaculate. My truck, I clean my truck all the time. She always has all her cars. It's just a shithole. We have our 100-pound Shepherd. It's full of dog hair. Like, I actually bought like a metal cone that you buy on Amazon.
Yeah.
The triangle thing to scrape, because you can't vacuum it off.
No. It gets right in the fibers.
It gets in the 100%. So yep. I'm sitting there. I got to now take it and do that. Then I got to vacuum it. I got to Under Armour all. I got to, clean. And I'm 2 hours or 2.5 hours. And then she went to see the accountant because there's a lot going on with our family stuff with my mother-in-law and all, sure, with their business and everything that her and my father-in-law had. So she's been doing that stuff. And then we get there and he's like, well, just drive one of the cars. I'm like, Deb, I got to go. And she's like, well, we'll see if we can work you out a deal. So we had to go drive a new Traverse, which she really loves, which is real nice. I mean, it's like light years ahead of the one from just 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, whatever.
Right.
But son of a bitch, bro. It's just like, I'm like, I have to go. And you know how the car dealers, and she's finally like, all right, we'll let you know tomorrow. And the guy's put, well, what if I take this off? What if I drop that? And then she might want the Equinox, because I'm like, why do we need the big Traverse? Matthew's in college, right? We're not driving with the two boys or taking your mother anywhere or anything like, we're not doing it. What do we need that? It's so anyway, I apologize. I'm and then I'm like, well, it's $150 more. I'm like, and then I'm going in now. This is for you guys. Like, I have so much inventory, a library of she books, right? This is our 25th anniversary, our 30th anniversary. Like I said, Wolverine she, Daredevil she, Witchblade stuff, all these great crossovers I did. Black, white, and red. Yes, I'm the first one to do black, white, and red. That J.G. Jones did this beautiful, beautiful 2-issue book. A Child is Born. I'm like, we have the first printing of A Child is Born, maybe 20 hardcovers left, maybe 20 or 25 of the regular editions. I'm like, let's do this, do a Whatnot. We've been talking about Whatnot for 3 years. I'm like, I don't have time to do all this. I spent all day doing updates, press releases, all that stuff. Then you know how it is, guys. And you got to draw, right? Then you got to write.
Yeah.
I can't do all this. Same thing with who cleans it? Who's the one who feeds the fucking animals? I feed the animals. Who cleans out the cat litter box? She hasn't cleaned a cat litter box since William was born 24 years ago. She's pregnant. She can't do that. You know what I mean? I fucking hate cats. I don't want cats.
Right?
Oh,
sorry for all you guys out there with fucking cats.
I love my cat, you
I'm the one
bastard.
who feeds the cats. I'm the one that cleans.
Men don't have cats.
Yeah, well, hey, Billy, you could lease a Cybertruck. I just looked it up for as low as $679.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all I need is drive around my neighborhood with that.
Yeah,
and it's bulletproof.
Yeah, is it bulletproof? Oh, well, maybe
yeah.
that's.
Yeah, but remember when you were a kid, you would draw cars and stuff like that. That Cybertruck is like a child drew it, like a Crayola. Like there is no design at all to that thing.
Its towing power sucks too. I've seen videos of it, like where the back end breaks off when it was towing something heavy.
Oh shit! Really?
Really? Because like now I'm just going by. He was on Rogan a couple weeks ago, so I'm just going by what he was saying. Supposedly, the Cybertruck towing a Porsche can beat a Porsche in a quarter mile.
Oh, that's you fast as hell. I heard that. Yeah. But then he's talking about like electric, talking about Cybertruck's electric. I'm like, I ain't getting in no fucking electric car. That's gonna, you know, that I'm gonna have to rely on the grid and the government for me to go from A to B. Because what happens
and
when
you have to wire your house with a 220 line to plug it in.
They don't tell you that, do they, Graham Nolan?
No,
they don't tell you that.
What's that going to cost? It's like, I think that's like $4,000.
Well, they're like, well, there's rebates and all this shit, and this is a lease, so it's like, oh my god. So I had to deal with today, and but there's like I said, now my favorite aunt is not well, so who knows what's going to happen with her? She's awesome, so that's you know how it is. It's just we're at that age, you know, that all these things are happening, and just lots going on with my father.
Check this out, Billy. I was talking to my cousin the other day, and we are the elder statesmen now for my family.
Right?
Like, we are the oldest living members of
my God.
our family.
Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I still have the majority of my aunts and uncles, you know, my mom, you know, Debbie's mother. But
we have none of that.
Since my father-in-law passed away 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago, it's just, you know, he ran that business and he built like an empire, a trucking empire, and it's just a mess. All the stuff, you know, with it, and it, I'll tell you about it. So that's all. And again, going back with Debbie, it's like, well, it's $150 more a month, and I'm like,
oh.
What have I been doing for 30 years? Let's get these things out.
Right.
You know, I have an idea for
this stuff.
The I'm sorry, I forgot. What's the name of the hardcover book? The Christmas one?
Oh, Child is Born.
Yeah. You said you got 20 hardcovers. I mean, I'm just saying 1, 2, 3, Aaron's 4. What a Christmas present that would be to the bros.
Oh my God, I'd love to give you a gift.
And then you'd have 16 hardcovers.
Then I'll have 16 left.
But you'd have the joy in your heart of giving them to your bros.
Yeah, but art celebrates Festivus.
Well, that's true.
So
is that when you punch people?
Because
I'm all about
feats of strength.
I got a lot of problems with you people.
You're going to hear about them.
And you're all going to.
You're all going to hear about them.
Yeah, so that's my day. Hello Tuesday. Yesterday I spent, you know, and of course the time of the wake, you know how New York traffic is. So it's taking us 4 hours to get to North Jersey.
Oh.
Where'd you have to go in Jersey?
Island. What?
Where in Jersey?
Near Garfield, north of that.
North of Garfield.
She said they say they're 12 miles from the New York border.
It took you 4 hours one way?
Yes. And 2.5 the other way. And then we get stuck on the George Washington Bridge. I don't know what the hell is going on with that.
Oh.
So, but it was nice seeing everybody. You know, he was old. He was a retired DEA agent and a Marine. Wow. And he had like, you know, I had gone to his house a couple of times with Debbie in college or after college. And I didn't remember, but he was like train collector. He had a Hopalong Cassidy poster in his basement. I'm like, holy crap, this is cool.
That's neat.
Yeah, but you know, that's that. So, but here's 2 days I haven't drawn. In 2 days.
That's always the problem, man.
Right?
Is when you look back, you feel doubly bad because you haven't been in the studio. I know that feeling.
Well, when you've got a live campaign too, you almost get no drawing done because every day is filled up with creating assets, marketing schemes, interviews, all that stuff. And to put the drawing hat on, the thinking hat, you know, it's like almost impossible because your head is just, you know, at least for me, I can't really even focus on drawing until the campaign ends, and then I can just buckle down, you know.
Yeah.
And if I used to take naps, you know, but I'm like, but I don't want to. I don't have time for naps now. I have to go. I have to shift gears, like I said, go from marketing or writing press releases and all this shit. I'm like, can't you do that?
Yeah,
we're partners, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what she's, you know, and so. It's just a lot going. It's just a lot. And Matthew's in college, and now Matthew doesn't want to wrestle anymore for next year because.
Really?
Well, I mean, let's face it. He's not going to be an Olympian,
right?
You know, he's a great wrestler, but these guys are, you know, it's not like football where you got 50 guys on a team,
right?
You know, there's like one guy per weight class that that wrestles. You know, so
is he getting any kind of scholarships or? Is he getting scholarships from wrestling or anything?
He's getting some scholarships from wrestling, but academic too. But now he wants to move to University Park because he's at Erie up there, and he wants to, but he wants to focus on his studies too. Because
where's University Park?
It's it's the main campus.
Oh, okay.
He's in the middle of the state, which is a lot closer than going to Erie. But he's and he and I don't blame him, because all he does from August until March is wrestle and study. That's all he does. I mean, he's in grades, but he gets a crap kicked out. They're all good. The thing is, like, everyone's a state champion, everyone's a county champion, regional. There's no one there that, like, there's no kid like, yeah, I like wrestling. I think I'm pretty good. I want to be a collegiate wrestler. It's not like that. So
yeah.
So but that's going to be that's like 20 grand more to go to University Park. It's even more. So she's like, where are we going to get this money? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, if you could take a lot of the slack, I can draw quicker. I have more time to draw. I have more time to write. You know what I mean? I could work, because I could work with the colorists, because all the stuff I do is so, like, right now the new Rand book takes place in Tokyo, 1993. So I have to get all that reference for the colorists. They have no idea what's there. All the neon, and this is what back alleys look like in Japan. There's a temple in it. When I'm sending them M16s, I'm going to send them photos of M16s, There's a motorcycle gang, so I have to send them Harleys, but I have to send them Harleys 1993 era Harleys, shovel heads and stuff, because they wouldn't be riding a new Harley, or a Honda to make it, they're an American biker gang. So yeah,
wow,
suffering, not suffering. It's a lot. I love it. It's a lot of fun, but there's only so many hours in the day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so that's that. That's
all right.
But the car looks it looks beautiful. But the difference from the 2023, I think the new model, the Traverse, came out in 2024. It's unbelievable, the difference in years. How technology, how these cars.
Oh yeah.
Holy, the interior and stuff, and crazy. Even the Equinox is really nice. And we'll save like 150, like I said, $150 if we get the Equinox.
I drive around in my 2000 Toyota Celica, and I still love that thing, man. It has no modern convenience, nothing. But when you're in that thing, and you're low to the ground, and the suspension is all race suspension and everything, and you feel it, and it's a 5-speed. So,
nice.
I love it. And that thing, how they say, like, the electric cars take off, just quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like this car, it's like a little, like, go-kart, man.
You got a picture of it? You got a picture of it?
I don't have one ready, but yeah, I can take one and send it.
Can you find a version of it and
yeah, it has like no miles on it either. Like it's brand new. Like I've had it pretty much in storage all this time.
Oh wow.
Hey Graham, so your truck, what kind of motor you have in your truck?
V8.
Okay, the V8. So all the Chevys now, the cars like the Traverse, Debbie had a 6, they're all that 4-cylinder turbo.
Yeah.
And son of a bitch, that thing goes, man. Holy crap, that thing friggin' hauls ass. Because I'm like,
I test drove a turbo engine for the GMC Sierra.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
No, huh?
No, not on the big truck.
Yeah,
I didn't feel like it had enough oomph. And then when I got into the 8-cylinder, it was like, bam.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Marcus said she was thinking about buying her lease until she sat in the new cars.
Right.
Yeah, here it is.
Now you're like, wow.
All right, share it.
Okay. Boom.
Dude, that's awesome.
Oh, that's nice. What year is that?
This is a 2000, and the thing is, it's been paid off forever, and also like Toyota, like not Toyota, but Texas, like tags and license and all that stuff. It is like next to nothing. I don't think I even have to like go through any of the tests anymore. So I just pay for my tags every year, and it's next to nothing. So this is just like free transportation.
But you don't drive it?
Of yours too?
What's that?
Is that the color of yours?
Yeah.
And you don't drive it though?
Not really.
How fast have you gone in it?
I've probably gone like 110.
How many
110.
miles is on it?
That's it? Can't you do like 140 in that car?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's California, dude. Like it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. There was no one on the freeway, so you can't open a car up like that in California.
You ain't in California anymore, buddy.
That's right.
Well, I know that, brother. I mean, we got these we got freeways here with little congestion, and they have freeway service roads here. So they have like these highways, these 2-lane highways that go one direction and they go along the side of the freeway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they move just as fast as the freeway. So you can zip along those things.
Got to get out there and open that baby up on one of them long Texas roads.
Yeah, it makes my wife nervous because the engine's right there, like it's just right there, and so it just, you can hear it, you can feel it, and she's just and then she also doesn't understand the downshift thing. Like I can get right up on another car and I can downshift and it'll almost stop on a dime, you know. And she's like, slow down.
Dude, I want to drive that car.
I know, right?
Yeah. Car.
It would be fun. We
it'll
should
never get stolen because it's got a clutch. So no young people know how to drive one of those things, so it can't get stolen.
Every time I take it out though at a stop, like if I'm stopped, like people offer to buy it from me, so that's pretty cool.
Dude, that's awesome. You could put a kill switch in that car too if you want, and they would be able to steal it too if it's old school like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always in the garage, so
so what is
I don't think you're gonna find a car in better shape than this one because it's been in pretty much storage for decades.
How many miles you got?
Yeah, how many miles is on it?
It's got, I don't know, like maybe 12,000 miles.
What?
When you said you didn't drive, and it's a 2000?
Yeah.
You haven't even put even 1,000 miles on a year.
It's like 500 miles a year.
No. Because the thing is, I would just drive it to work when I lived in California. It was only like the studio was like a mile away, a mile up and back, and then all the other time we were in the family car. And so now that we live here, there's really only need for the one car. So I keep the other car just in case of emergencies and things like that, which we've had to use maybe twice, which is good to have. But we just get in the sedan and just tool around. Yeah.
Do you keep it like on a trickle charge or something like that since you don't drive it much?
Yeah, I have like a is it called a trickle charge? I don't know what it is, but it's like it plugs in the wall, goes into the battery.
Yep.
So it doesn't drain
like
the
a battery tender you got or something.
Yeah.
Bro, my God.
I take it out just like once a month just to drive it.
Take Pamela out till Bucky's.
It's not like you have shitty weather down
Bucky's,
there.
right?
You know what? If she wasn't scared to death of that car, I mean, that car sits like maybe a foot off the ground. Like it's crazy.
Well, dude, if you want to sell it, let us know because I'm sure my son William's looking for a cool car.
Yeah, looking for a death machine.
Yeah, something badass, something without no technology, not that they can track it and all that stuff.
Art, I'm gonna look up, see what they go for. Give me the make and model again and year.
Yeah, look it up.
It's a GTS Celica Toyota 2000.
Dude, that's awesome. So I'm sorry, I missed this subject. What was the subject again, Graham?
It was Celicas and what they're going for.
We're talking about big events. Big events in comics and crossovers, and are they worth doing anymore? And we talked about the successes of the ones in the past, but and now they're starting to do crossovers again since DC and Marvel worked out the logistics there. But I wonder how those are selling.
I think they're doing well. I thought that Jimmy Palmiotti posted about like one of the books he just did with Vampire. I think it was
he's doing isn't Jimmy doing the Gargoyles? Fantastic
but I think he also did Harley Quinn Elvira. I think he did 163,000 copies or something. Let me see.
Oh, what's Gargoyles?
That
the
TV
DC cartoon or Disney cartoon property.
Yeah, here he is. Let's see what Jimmy did.
See, you know what this sounds like? This sounds like the beginning of them licensing out the products, licensing out the Fantastic Four. They're teaming up with the gargoyles from a cartoon show.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
weird,
I mean,
right?
eventually that's what's going to happen, is that the publishing arm of Marvel is going to die off, and to keep the IPs, they'll just license them out to other people to publish, and to do team ups and all that other stuff, keep the trademarks and alive, and the characters out there.
Yeah, if they're going to do that, they're going to have to keep those licensing fees relatively low, because I don't know who would get involved in a publishing venture. It would have to be just a hardcore fan, because there couldn't be that much money in it. Unless you own the IPs. But if you just have the publishing rights, I don't think there's a whole lot of money in it.
Well, especially if you got to pay out to somebody else,
Yeah, the licensing fees. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, if Marvel's doing it and their licensing fees are low enough, then I can see somebody biting. If not, like, it doesn't seem like it'd be that good of a business proposition.
Right.
Huh. I wouldn't do it even if I had a ton of money. Like, the only way you would possibly do it is just for ego, right? You just want to write, and draw Spider-Man stories or something like that, and not have to answer to anybody.
Right.
I found one, but the problem, so we'd have to guess, because like the one that I found has 92,000 miles on it, but it's a 2000 Toyota Celica GT. It's blue too, just like the one you showed. But it's 92,000 miles, and they're asking 7,900. But I would think 12,000 miles in mint condition.
Yeah.
Well, they say they can go from $11,000, almost $12,000 for a well-maintained, maintained.
Your car's got to be worth 20 grand.
I was gonna say, I bet yours could probably go for like 20, because low miles, mint condition, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to the car shows with it. Or yeah, man, take Pamela out, bro.
I like the way you think, Billy. I wish we lived in the same neighborhood. Oh my gosh, the shit we'd get into.
I know, but the problem is we'd never see each other, because we'd have
we'd be working all the time. Yeah.
Yep. Maybe we can have lunch. Let's do lunch. I got Phil. If you guys know Phil Russer, Phil Distribution. Phil lives a mile away. I see Phil in Charlotte. Literally lives in the same town I live in,
and New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey.
He was at Jersey. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. No, I know how that. Dude, Bud Root lives 20 minutes from me. Last time I saw him was at South Carolina Comic-Con Junior in October, and then before that it was Heroes Con, and he lives 20 minutes from me.
Wow.
That's
crazy. So, Billy, what's your favorite comic book crossover event?
My favorite comic book crossover event. So you guys covered the Spider-Man, right? Superman, Spider-Man, that great. Now that was a Ross Andru and Mike Esposito cover, right?
No, it was Dick Giordano.
Oh, was it? Did Esposito or Ross Andru work on one of those though?
No.
All right, I apologize.
No. Ross and Esposito worked together a lot.
Yeah,
just not on that.
Let me see. What's a good crossover?
How about the FF Superman one that I worked on?
That's gay, dude.
Yeah, I mean, Dan's art was nice.
Yeah, nobody cares about comics. I don't know. Cars. She Gate Crash, Lady Death was it, and we are planning for crossovers. Our She Volume 2, I think February we're gonna launch it on Indiegogo. The crossovers, She Omnibus Volume 2, the crossovers.
She Cyblade was my favorite crossover.
Dude, She Cyblade was a great fucking comic, bro. We had Bone in it. We had Madmen. We had Hellboy. We had Kachu from Strangers in Paradise.
And you had Mark Silvestri.
We had, what else? Tyrant, Steve Bissett's Tyrant. David Max Kabuki was in it. Cerebus was in it. Come on, man. Good stuff, bro.
Great stuff.
Made a lot of money off of that too, so thank you, everybody. That was a good one. But we are going to collect those into. I think it's like 600 pages. Our omnibus is going to be.
Wow.
All of our crossovers. So
that's going to be expensive to ship.
It sure is. It sure is. So, but we're looking at. I'm trying to think what my favorite comic book crossover is.
Superman, Spider-Man, easy.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever read that though. To be honest with you.
Really?
Oh, you don't have to read that book.
Well, I don't know if it's a great story, but geez, I mean,
oh, it's gorgeous looking.
The art is beautiful.
Yeah, I love the cover. You know,
yeah.
I love that cover. What a great cover.
You know what? What always cracks me up is the Muhammad Ali Superman, and it's like it is so brilliantly executed, and just such a bad idea. Like why? Like Muhammad Ali. Like even as a kid, I was like, this is dumb. And they even did the rubber mask thing and all that. It's like, oh come on, man.
But
the story is horrible.
Hero.
It's so bad.
The story is so bad.
Is it really?
Oh,
now, is that Neil?
Terrible.
I know Neil did the wraparound cover, but is it Neil?
Yeah, Neil did the inside. Yeah.
What's
the artwork is friggin' amazing, you know. But you know, you could tell a lot of the writing, especially dialogue stuff, was Neil's, you know, because it's so clunky and weird that he kind of like run roughshod on Denny the same way he did with Hard Traveling Heroes, you know. A lot of that. You know, that's, you know, I've always contended nobody would talk about that if it wasn't for Neil Adams' artwork, because those books are unreadable. There's such
really,
there's such polemics, you know. It's just all this.
There's moments that are pretty cool, but I bet you that's all Denny O'Neil. Like one of my favorite is just the Imano fight between Green Lantern and Green Arrow.
Yeah,
and they're that Indian village or whatever, and they're fighting.
Yeah.
And then Green Lantern takes off the ring. It's just so cool. I don't like the way it gets resolved, and I wish it would have been longer. Because I think don't they just get knocked out by a log? They both get knocked out.
Well, that's when they're in the they're in like the forest or whatever, right?
Yeah, they're like an Indian village or some.
Yeah, and somebody knocks them both out or some shit.
Yes, they launched these logs that they were using.
They
were deforesting or whatever that is, logging.
Yeah,
and but it's a great shot of like the two of them getting hit at the same time.
Oh yeah,
you know? It's just like one's going down and the other one's like it's hitting in the back of the head, and it's like, my gosh, like you remember these shots, you know what I mean? Like they're burned into my retina.
You know, I remember.
Marcus, what about that crossover? Nobody's
That's
talking
a good
about.
one. It is a good one. You know, I gotta say another really good looking one too was, and somebody mentioned in the chat, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, Batman Hulk. That was a great looking book too.
Great looking book.
That's what I said.
Yes, I noticed.
Well, here's something that everybody should remember. It was an amazing book. Share my screen.
That's when the Hulk could just get kicked in the stomach and knock the wind out of him.
Yeah, knock the wind out of him, make him suck in the gas.
Yeah.
That Alex Ross, definitely Alex Ross cover.
Yeah, Alex Ross cover. A guy named
Dan Jurgens,
R.T. Bear did finishes over Dan Jurgens. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that book. I have that book.
This was also printed in it was hardbound, so that's pretty cool.
Was it?
Was it really?
I don't have that.
Yeah.
I have the
I didn't know that. Yeah, I got the soft cover. I think I'm trying to remember if they're reprinting this one too.
That would be nice. I could use the money. The neat thing about it is like I have, you know, a pretty good size run on Superman and like 2 years on Fantastic Four. So it was pretty neat to, you know, be able to work on that crossover book.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of fun. Yeah.
And they printed it like the Treasury editions,
Yeah.
you know.
They were big. Yeah.
That's kind of cool, you know.
And they were square bound instead of like those Treasury. Remember, they still did the staple, right? Like,
No, Marvels were square bound. DCs were stapled, were saddle stitched.
Okay, so in the day there were some of those Treasury size that were stapled. Okay.
Yeah, the DC ones were all stapled. The Marvels were square bound.
Stat Zero brought up a good one, Magnus Predator by Lee Weeks, but
Oh yeah.
I'll raise that because what I prefer over that one, also drawn by Lee Weeks, but written by Walt Simonson.
Yep.
Tarzan Predator.
Tarzan Predator. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
That
a cool
one is
idea.
great.
That's a
Oh
cool
my
idea.
God.
If we're gonna do crossovers with like movie franchise, Jurgens again with Kevin Nolan inking him on the Superman Alien crossover.
Right.
Yep.
Holy shit balls, man.
Well, and then the second Superman Alien was John Bogdanov, inked by Kevin Nolan.
Really?
Yeah, and that's cool too.
Yeah, I'll bet Bogdanov is. I love Bogdanov's Superman.
Dude, he did three. There's a 3-issue story arc in Man of Steel, and Bogdanov, and it's supposed to have that Golden Age feel, and he really drew it that way too.
Oh yeah,
for those 3 issues.
Yep.
Yeah, that is great stuff. Yeah.
So do you think that because I heard like Jim Lee and those guys talking about doing another like Marvel DC crossover, is that going to happen?
Well, yeah, they're doing a Superman Spider-Man next year. They're doing 2 of them.
They're not going to do like the whole universe. They're going to like just do
I don't know. I don't know if they're doing a whole universe thing. Each one of the Deadpool Batman books has backup stories that are like 4 or 5 pages that have 2, different characters also teaming up. So
are the sales any good on those? Are they?
I'd be in for that, man. Doc Savage and the Phantom crossover.
Oh my God, that would be so cool.
I would love to do that.
What I kind of still fantasize about, I almost got to do it with Dynamite, was like black and white and some of these like Green Hornet or the Shadow or Doc Savage
the Shadow, because I remember Nikki had the license for the Shadow, then he lost it. Is it King Features? Who owns the Shadow? Do you know?
I don't know. Universal.
Street and Smith owns
Yes,
Shadow.
you never know. You might get in touch with their estate. You can put together,
Yeah.
Well, I did. I had a deal with. I did have a deal with Nick to do the Green Hornet black and white crossover, but guess what happened? Bunch of liberals couldn't handle it and decided to put pressure on.
And let me guess, Nick folded like a house of cards,
like a house of cards.
I don't know. Maybe he did.
Deadpool Batman, the Marvel one that came out actually back in September, sold about 500,000, and then it went to a second print. So, and there's no numbers as of now for the one that comes out tomorrow.
500,000. That's pretty damn good, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of cover. They did so many different covers, though. Oh yeah.
You got to search to see when Doc Savage or the Shadow will come into the public domain, because they should be coming up on it too.
Well, Doc was 1933.
Okay, that's
so
is that 28 then? 2028?
Well, 1928 was this year.
Right.
So if you do 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 5 years.
5 years. So in 5 years, Doc should be at least the Doc stories from Man of Bronze. You couldn't draw a comic using the James Bama version.
Oh, really?
Because James Bama's painting was from the 1960s.
Oh.
Did he copyright that look? Did Bama, did he own the copyright for that visual?
I don't know if he owns it or if Bantam Books owns it.
Because that's a shame if he doesn't, because that is pretty much the iconic Doc.
It is. I mean,
well, that's what you think.
It's like Frazetta, he created that look for Conan. When you see the illustrations of Conan back in the weird tales and stuff, he kind of looks like a Roman soldier. He didn't look anything like that.
You know what my favorite story is? And speaking, we got a little bit of car stuff going on here. Is I think his name is Chuck Barris? No, George Barris. George Barris.
Oh yeah,
the guy that created the Batmobile. And I think they just sold the Batmobile 3 that was never really screen used for like a couple $1 million or some crazy amount of money. And that guy bought that Futura off of Ford for $1.
Wow.
$1. It was in storage for like 6 months. He got the what was his name? Dean Jeffries bailed out of the Batmobile. Dean Jeffries is the guy that did the Black Beauty. So he was another custom car guy.
Oh, I thought Bears did the Black Beauty too. No?
No, it was.
Did he never
Dean
do a
Jeffries.
concept of it? Did he ever come up with a concept of the Batmobile?
Well, the thing is, he had 3 months to do it. He had only 3 months to do it. So there was this guy, they said that he could bend metal at will. Like he could just do anything with metal. So that Bears came up with the design, and that guy just was hammering out, shapes and stuff like that. And they customized that Futura to what the Batmobile is, what we think of it today, in 3 months. And the best part of the story is, I'm sorry, I'm getting all passionate about this. He never sold the rights. He never sold the car to Fox, and he never sold the rights. He owns the rights to this day to this Batmobile.
That's great.
Hook, line, sinker. He not only does he own the cars, he paid for them himself. He owns the cars. Well, he's gone now, RIP. But he also, off all these toys, all the model kits, everything you've ever seen, he made bucks off of. I mean, he's probably the best successful story as far as a creator I can remember. And I had no idea that guy, up to his death, I don't know who owns it now, but up to his death, the Batmobile. And to this day, when you think of the Batmobile, that's the Batmobile you think of.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one I think of. But
yeah, me too.
I love that.
Yeah.
McFarlane Toys is putting out a big version of it that fits the 6-inch, Adam West figure of Batman that McFarlane did too. I'm very tempted because I love that Batmobile so much.
I'm this close to pull the trigger on it too. Yeah. But
it's be shiny.
Look at that.
Like that.
There we go.
Now, how much was that, Graham?
I don't know. I bought it years ago.
I've got.
Does the wheels turn too, right? They steer.
Yep. They turn, steer.
And that's die cast, right? That's metal.
Yeah, it's die cast metal. Oh, this is made by Hot Wheels.
Let me Google
That's different from the one I have.
Yeah, Hot Wheels made this one.
Is that a 1/18th scale? 1/32nd scale, I mean?
How do I know?
Wheels.
How the hell should I know, Eunice?
I think it is 1/32nd Batmobile. Let's see.
Oh, wait. What version does Andy have? I don't have that version.
This is the 1/24th version. The doors open and stuff, but the wheels don't turn. Robin's inside of it. And then it comes with a metal, it's metal, and then a little metal Batman.
I don't have that one.
Let me see, Andy.
That's cool.
So that's what is that?
1/24th.
1/24th.
Is that Hot Wheels as well?
No, this is Jada.
Okay.
Graham's, yours is 1/16th, I think.
Okay.
So let's look at that and see. 1/16th. Is it 1/16th or 1/18th? 1/18. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, by the way, somebody knows that I'm such a geek. How much?
How much?
$60. It's Walmart. Now, does yours have little figures, Graham?
No.
1/18 die cast. It lights up.
That might be the Todd McFarlane version.
It says Jada Toys.
Yeah, Todd's doesn't light up. This one doesn't light up though. But it also wasn't $60. This was like 30 maybe.
How long ago did you get that, Andy?
Oh shit. Probably. I'm trying to see if there's a date. There's usually a date on it. There's not, but within the decade. So within the last 10 years.
Yeah, I gotta pick that one up. I got the one that Graham's got. Also, like I said, somebody contacted me. They know I'm a big geek with this stuff, and at Hobby Lobby now, you can get the Aurora model kit for the Black Beauty.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Or do you have the?
No, I don't.
Well, that's the one you created, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you go big on that, Graham? On yourself,
Yeah.
can you make yourself full screen?
That's like the train. It runs on a track, right?
Yep.
Did you have to buy that yourself?
Where did you design that for, Graham?
It was for Asbats. He was how he would get in and out because he didn't have the Batmobile. So this is how he'd get around Gotham. He would use these unused subway lines, and then this thing could go and reverse. There's a gyroscope in the seat, so he can completely turn it around, and then this fin tail here will flip back the other way, and there's rockets on both sides, so then he could blast a rocket and stop like this and then go the other way.
Dude, that's badass.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I hate you, Graham Nolan.
Eagle Toys, or that English company, made that.
Now, see, I got to admit, I like the one that Neil did in Batman Odyssey because it's a sports car.
Yeah, well, that's the one he drew back in the 70s, you know, when they moved Batman into the city and out of Wayne Manor.
Yeah.
He had that sports car.
Do you think they were trying to do that BB-8, like the Bond cars? Do you think that's what kind of...
Yeah, probably. You know, the DB5?
The DB5? Okay.
This is also Eagle Moss.
Eagle Moss, yeah.
Well, I got some purchasing to do.
Yeah, I had that. I had mine was for my Batman Blue Collar pitch with Joey Cavalieri was the editor, and went all the way to the top, and then just didn't happen. Where he was, you know, he was poor, you know, not poor. He was living in, you know, and it was his dad's or his, Alfred's. It was a black Superbird. You know, that was a 900 horsepower freaking beast. And he lived in the caves area of Gotham City with the overhead train lines and stuff. They called them the caves. And great story. And he went after the Gotham City Police Department, the corrupt Gotham City Police Department. Everyone loved it. Everybody loved it. And then
it hit a wall somewhere along the line.
Sure did.
Do you know who it was?
Yeah, I think I know who it is. So yeah.
Who?
I'm not gonna say.
He's not there now.
He's a nice guy though. So.
He's not there now, is he?
I'll tell you guys.
Marcus says your Batman Blue Collar pitch is now absolute Batman.
Yes, I've been told that by everybody. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Yep. And Catwoman Selena Kyle is she runs like a sex shop, and that's where he gets his cape and his shorts from, because he's like, I'm not gonna wear these shorts, and he puts on his tights, and she's like, yeah, all right, I'll take them shorts. Let me have them. And he wears on his legs, he wears leggings like dyed in black, like U.S. Army surplus leggings and boots, and then he's got like knuckle gloves, knuckle duster gloves, and yeah. It was all about him becoming the world's greatest detective.
Our buddy Paul Taylor's here from Canada with the $10 super chat. Hail bros in chat. Just got done with work. Hope everyone is having fun. We're always having fun, Taylor. But we're having more fun now that you're here.
Yes.
The more the merrier.
Art, Big Bad Toy Store apparently has a couple of the Batmobiles, the 124 scale that I have.
See, I want one with the figures that you can take in and out.
That's McFarlane, man.
That's McFarlane one.
Got to get that big one from McFarlane and then get the 6
inch. It doesn't look that good, I didn't think.
Oh, I didn't mind it.
It looked like a big plastic car, you know.
It's plastic. It's shiny and metal. You know what I mean?
No, it's plastic.
Make it like that dull.
I kind of agree with Graham. I wasn't really impressed by it, and also the reason those metal ones are cool is those tires are rubber. You know. It just feels more authentic and cool.
Yeah.
McFarlane ones, I don't know if they are rubber or not, but they just seem like they're hard plastic.
But the Corgi, like that Corgi one you have, that has the little Batman and Robin figures in it. So why couldn't they make a larger metal one with larger Batman, Robin, and figures in it? You know. And I want the Bat boat.
Yes.
With the trailer.
Yes.
Like Corgi had back in the 60s.
Yeah, I thought they put that back out. They didn't put that back out?
I haven't seen it in this scale, but I do have the smaller version. I guess the Corgi Minis. Whatever.
Well, it's just a typical Hot Wheels size, 164, right?
Yeah,
I want the
they're
larger one. I want the corgi size one, like
Oh.
Right.
Art's got there, and I want the trailer and the boat.
Right.
You're damn right you do.
Yeah, buddy.
You want the helicopter too?
I don't care about the helicopter, but I want this.
Man, if that's not Adam West, that stunt man sure
I was going to say,
got his moves down, right?
I was going to ask, because I'm sure Graham knows, was that Adam West and Burt Ward sliding down the pole? No?
No.
It doesn't look like Burt Ward. He looks too tall for Burt Ward, but that stunt man really.
But how about that boat? I mean, that's a Glaxton, and that engine on that thing is putting out so much horse. I mean, it's like it planed like almost immediately.
Oh yeah,
it was so great. I love that. I mean, you can feel the power in that engine as it's zipping through the water, man.
Well, you know what? Like that George Barris, I don't know who came up with the boat, but there was the fourth version of the Batmobile was made as a dragster. That thing would pop a wheelie. They would take that in the 60s. There were drag strips were like cool to go to, and they were everywhere, especially in like Southern California.
Oh,
yeah. And they used to bring the Batmobile around and race that thing. And they said they had to put wheelie bars on it because he tricked it out that this thing could compete on the quarter-mile track.
Yeah, well, he just had a fiberglass body on it, so that weighs nothing.
Right. Yeah,
Like the original Futura.
Yeah, the Futura, I think, was the only one that was the actual metal body. Everything else, like you said, was fiberglass. Yeah.
So for the dragster one, did they tub it out so they could do the big fat tires in the back, or no?
No, I think it still looked like the Batmobile. So they probably have class, like that they race in, and so a compatible class. And they said that thing could get it could pop a wheelie.
Yeah, but what scale here? Corgi's re-released the Batmobile and Batboat with trailer, but
look at the comment below
it.
Yeah,
so go to eBay and find out.
That sounds like collectible prices.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like anything that I'm gonna do.
Yeah, me neither.
I have one I did some research and I got this vintage one, and there were so many re-releases. I thought somebody had put these tires on this thing.
Yeah,
they actually came out that way years later.
That's kind of cool.
The big mags, but I need to restore it somehow.
Yeah, you do.
There's a dude that restored an original Corgi on YouTube. If you ever watch him, he restores old toys and stuff like that. Unbelievable the work.
Dude, wait, Billy, is that the guy that when he films the videos, you can see his hand, but he films it like he backs up a tow truck into a yard? Like there's a dude that restores like die-cast cars, and he films it where, like I said, it's like a little set, like a junkyard.
Oh no, I did not.
And the dude literally will back a tow truck up with his hand, so you can see his fingers.
I've seen that guy. Yeah,
and pulls it into like a shop, and then he starts restoring it. It's
That's cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, I was a car kid, man. I was a car kid.
Same here.
Cars. Yeah.
Oh my god!
I think a lot of us were at that time period. Because you can work on them. You can't work on them these days. It's too tough.
Yeah, you can't work on it. Yep.
Yeah, you got to have a computer.
Yep.
Yeah. It's pain in the ass.
My piece of shit Mustang or my Camaro.
Yeah. Yeah, when we were teenagers, you go get that, what was it, Chilton? The Chilton book. They have one for like every freaking car.
Yeah.
You just bust that sucker open and go, all right, I got to change this. Let me get my Chilton book. Go to the old auto store.
Yeah,
So-
my brother-in-law and I changed my brake lines on my Mustang. My brake line was just rotted. I don't know what it was. And to stop it, I had to slam it into park.
Yeah, we would back then in our driveway, we would drop trannies and then we'd work on cars too.
There you go. Thank you.
There it is.
Yeah, high five. Over here, buddy. Over here.
Boom. Yeah.
My brother came to visit me in New Jersey one time. He was going to college in Pennsylvania, and he had no brakes. He had a Mustang. He had one of those Ford Mustang 2s, like from the 80s, piece of shit.
Yeah,
And
like
when
79.
He had
or
no,
78.
the only brake he had was the handbrake. You know?
Oh yeah.
So he's driving from Pennsylvania to New Jersey, pulling on this hand.
Oh my God.
You see that there's this one, people, everybody's got cameras now. This guy, his brakes didn't work or whatever, and he's on the freeway. And so he's trying to slow down and he's hitting the barricade, those concrete things. So there's cars coming this way and this way, but somebody's following him, filming the whole thing. And the guy's like, he's holding his hands up, like, I don't know what to do. Like, put his hands up and
that was a Tesla that just went haywire and just drove
Oh,
right. And is that the guy? He starts praying,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And
Yep.
I was just like, I don't know how I didn't know if it was a Tesla or not,
I think it's
but I was just like, just knock it in gear. Like
yeah,
you know,
If it's I would assume even if like with my Ford Escape, if that happened, I just throw the damn thing into reverse.
yeah.
That'll
Yep.
stop it right away.
Yeah.
but one, if you're going to slow it down by the wall, just knock it in neutral. So eventually it can slow down.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
if you don't mind blowing your transmission, just throw it into into like reverse, like you said.
Well, he
And
hit
I mean,
another
it'll be
car and then
pretty
he
abrupt.
flipped over, right? Or he hit another car. on
No,
the
what
other side,
happened is
flipped
he was dragging the wall,
Yeah,
and then the wall there was no more wall.
yeah.
So then he just went over into ongoing traffic across like 4 lanes of highway. And I think he hit a couple cars and then he flipped it. But I was like, fuck, dude. Like,
He should have just risked blowing a tranny. He was in California.
right. I would have blown a tranny. I know it's
Right.
not that popular for straight guys, but
Yeah,
I
they're
would.
blowing fatties.
But in
So
your
what's wrong with
defense,
the
you
tranny?
thought it was a girl.
Was it a girl?
You thought it was a girl. You
Oh
blew
yeah,
it.
yeah. Like I think my daughter would even know how to handle that situation. I kept yelling like, throw it in
Wait,
neutral.
your daughter would
you
know
know?
how to blow a tranny? What are you saying?
What is up
Well,
with that?
No,
Isn't there an
I didn't
emergency
say
brake?
that. You said that.
Isn't there an emergency brake on the thing?
Yeah, but it's
They
not
don't
no
know. They
guarantee
have
that's
to
going
go-
to stop the
they
car
always
though.
have to
Well, it'll
slow
help
it
slow
down.
it down.
It
You know?
would help, yes.
I mean, I would start with that.
Right.
You know? Maybe put it out of gear into neutral, put the emergency brake on,
there you
then
go.
put it up against the wall to slow it down with friction. And if
And
none
then
of
put
that
your foot
works, then
outside
throw it in
and use your
reverse.
foot to slow it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Like the Flintstones?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe get a big brontosaurus rib and put that on it and make it go sideways. Then
Hey,
I
now,
always
that's
thought
another
that
one of
that
my
thread
favorite
should have been a
cars.
lot fatter. I mean, who ate those ribs? That's a lot of food.
That is. Well,
Yeah,
Fred,
there's no
caveman.
carbs. No
Fred
carbs.
was pretty big.
yeah, the cavemen,
Yeah, they
they
had to burn their calories all day at the mine, the
yeah.
quarry.
You know how many calories you burn running your car with your feet?
Yeah.
A
You don't
lot.
get a break until you go downhill.
You know, I always thought it'd be so much easier just to walk. I mean, the weight of that thing alone to try to drag it along with your feet.
And having to stop with the soles of your bare feet.
Right.
Yeah, but
Think
they
of the
act like
balances they build up.
yeah, but they act like that thing could move that fast. There's no way you get that thing moving that fast.
I like how you can't believe they can get it moving that fast, and you can't, but you can understand how they would actually have a car made of stone,
Right.
Yeah.
and work at a quarry and have bowling alleys.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why we're so messed up, man. We grew up on all that crap.
Those were great cartoons, though.
Those are
Those
great.
were
Yeah.
good cartoons.
It was the Honeymooners, It was basically a cartoon version of
Yeah.
the Honeymooners.
Yeah.
It's
To the
great.
moon, Alice.
Mhm.
To the moon.
Oh
Man,
my
when
God,
we
that
were
was
first
such a good
married,
show.
WPIX Channel 11 in New York at midnight would show like I think at 11 o'clock was Star Trek, and then at 12 was the Honeymooners. So I'd be up working on projects, Julie'd be in there asleep, I'd watch Star Trek, and then the Honeymooners would come on, and I start laughing my ass off. I kept waking her up. You know, she got so mad at me, you know. She like, will you stop laughing? Turn that off. We were just married, you know, and I'm laughing my ass off watching the Honeymooners.
I think the crazy thing about the Honeymooners is that they only did 30 episodes total of the Honeymooners, I think.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I think so. If someone could check, I think there's only
it's not
30.
a lot.
But back then, what was the season? Like how many episodes?
30 episodes.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know.
Oh, Randy says 39. Oh, no.
39.
I don't know if that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I think
no,
he is.
I think some of
like
those
39.
ones, they would be like in the high 20s, like 27, 28 episodes a year. So 30 episodes could be a whole season.
Yeah, could be
39. Yep, Randy's right. 39.
Yeah, people used to
There's
work
a
back
whole
then.
reel of like the hidden episodes too, where they had a different Alice, and a different actress played Alice, and you know, it's a little rougher, little not the characters aren't quite on model just yet, you know. Those are interesting to watch.
Is that like a pilot or something? What is that?
No, those were like the earlier ones. You know, I think it was like when they were doing the skit. I think if I'm not mistaken, they started the skits on a show, and then it spun off into the Honeymooners. I think it was like Jackie Gleason's show, because he used to do all these different characters, and then there was the Honeymooners became really popular, and then they spun it off into a TV show. If I'm right.
It's like The Simpsons on that. What was her name? Tracy Ullman show.
Tracy Ullman,
yeah. Nobody knows who she is, but they know The Simpsons.
Yeah,
damn sure.
Is that Zero with this Blazing Saddles reference? Howard Johnson's right about Randy Johnson being right. And I'm not selling my ice cream parlor to no one or nobody.
Oh,
this is so funny. Okay, so after you guys saw the Netflix Frankenstein, I told my daughter, I was like, you got to watch this. Everybody I know says it's a great show. So she's like, oh, whatever. And so was it last night or the night before, she calls me, she goes, that Frankenstein is amazing. You should see it. And she's acting like I didn't tell her about it. She's just acting like she just discovered it. She goes, it's amazing. It's this, that, the other thing. I go, yeah, I know.
Well, wait, Art, have you watched it yet or no?
No, I just know most of it because of the live stream we did the other day.
Well, you should still watch it.
I will. I don't watch any TV. I don't watch anything. I don't watch movies. I don't watch anything anymore. Yeah. I don't go to the theater.
Do you read books?
I just listen to music and draw. That's all I do.
And remodel my kitchen and the bathroom.
Well,
yeah. Oh, I just rewired all the outlets in my outside. I rewired them all.
Good for you. I
don't think you're an electrician. Are you allowed to do that?
No, and you know what? You know what I did? I did actually. Don't tell my wife. I did kind of jolt myself. It was off the circuit breaker.
Dude, my air conditioning wasn't working one time, so I took the housing off, and the compressor was there, and I was trying to get the, to get it working. I'm tapping away on it, and I hit the 220 line with my screwdriver.
Oh shit!
I made the connection. Yeah.
Holy shit, man! I used to have hair.
It all frizzed off. Yeah.
I jump back like that, and I'm like, you get that tingly feeling.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm calling the pros.
The worst time I ever got jolted, God, we got this car thing going, is I always worked on my own cars, right? So I forget what it is. It's the alternator. If your alternator goes, you can bypass the alternator with a long screwdriver. You could touch one of the terminals of the battery and one of the terminals of the alternator, and it'll bypass it, and you can start your car up. And I did that, but I must have slipped or something, and I touched. I hit the top of the hood. You get the hood.
Oh yeah.
That's what you're like, whoa, Nelly.
My arm. Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It started, but the weird thing is the current went through me, and it still started the car. So
Yeah.
And Art just shook it off and just.
I just shook. Well, I was pretty numb, so
Yeah.
it took a couple of hours to.
He's twitching.
His pants are all fried. You know what I mean? Like all
his hair. He's got singe marks all over.
Yeah.
One eyebrow's missing.
Yeah. I'm all asymmetrical. Yeah. No, I just couldn't move my arm. Like it was just numb.
Yeah, I bet.
His fingernails are all black.
Oh my
yeah. It's good old days. Good old days.
Yeah. You see the Burbs when Rick Ducommun touches the wire and he gets shocked. He gets bounced off the thing and he lands down on the ground. He comes out of the shed. His gloves, the tips are all burnt off. His nails are black. He can't close his mouth because his fillings are red hot.
Do you remember they used to have the what were they called? The Darwin Awards? Remember?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if those. There was some guy in Australia, and he was a line operator, like power lines, and he'd been working for decades. And he was a smoker, and for some reason, he got a wild hair up his ass that day and thought he would light his cigarette off of the line. He died instantly.
Wow.
Oh my God.
This is a guy that works with it every day. I think that what happens is you must just be kind of numb to how dangerous this stuff is.
Yeah,
sure.
You know what I mean?
You get complacent, you know.
Yeah.
You get complacent, you forget, you know, and like, oh, I've done this piece of cake, and then electricity doesn't change rules, you know.
Especially power lines. Oh my! I don't know how much goes through those things.
Yeah, I've seen a video of a guy, a power line worker, like something touched something, and you know, like he's all of a sudden he just goes stiff, you know, as the shit is going through him, you know, and then he dropped dead. He was dead. It just went right through him. Yeah.
We should tase each other at a convention.
That'd be fun.
I got a tase story, but I can't tell you off the air. It's hilarious.
Okay, so wait, what are the different things? There's the taser, there's pepper spray. We need a few other things, and then what we'll do is we'll draw them out of a hat, and whichever one we pick, we have to get.
There might have been a time, Andy, that I would take you up on that, but being the age I am now, that just doesn't sound
time
very attractive.
That
time is past. You younger people, you're into that tasing shit.
No. I'm good.
No.
I'm good.
But I remember my dad telling me, he was like, son, if you ever see somebody getting electrocuted, you never touch them.
No.
Like my dad was badass. Like he was just like, he thought the whole world was like, because he worked with this shit all the time at the shipyard. And he goes, you never touch them. He said, but you have to disconnect them from the line because it gets stuck.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then he's like, you get a board and you just hit him with the board. And you break the connection. Yeah, he's right.
It won't conduct through the wood.
Wow.
Yeah, he goes, if there's water, you never step in it. Yeah, all this stuff. Yeah. I do remember that I think my favorite shocking, because it didn't have anything to do with me. I'm at my friend's house, right? We're at the height of Kiss Mania, right? Early 70s. And we're at his house, his parents' house. We're listening to like Love Gun or something like that. And then all of a sudden his turntable just goes, what the hell? Right? So then his door opens up and it's his little sister. And she's got a key in her hand and it's burned completely off. It's gone. And her hair is literally frizzed out. Like that shit does happen. And so my friend is just like, it's sibling. It's like, get out of here. You got to knock before you get in. I go, she just like zapped herself. I said, what happened? And she couldn't talk. And she just kind of walked over to her bedroom and she just kind of pointed. And so I moved her bed aside. The plate, that goes over the socket, it was melted. And there was a black space around. And also her hand, it was clean. And there was a black ring. like, I don't know how she survived it, but man, she took a full like 220 or whatever the hell that was, man.
Wow.
Holy shit balls. He's still yelling at her. I'm like, man, she just almost died.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
So she took a key and stuck it in a plug?
Well, yeah, what she was trying to do is she was trying to pry, like sometimes it's hard to get the plug out of the wall when you're a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think she was trying to pry it out with the key. And so she must have made the connection and just the key was gone. Like only where she was touching it was still there. Nuts.
Wow. No, the bros are not going to do jackass stuff.
30 years
we could
ago.
get some ratings though.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. No, we get you know what? We invite replacement bros in. Like stunt.
You call it bros in training.
Yeah.
That's right. The replacements.
Yes, or stunt bros,
Or just call it the hazing.
That's right.
How bad do you want it, huh?
Paul says to get leftists to do those two.
There you go.
Yeah, well, they're dopey enough to do them.
Yeah.
They're not very brave, though. I don't know.
True. Yeah, but you just tell them there's money in it or something.
That's right. There's free
or a free, Starbucks coffee, or it'll save the planet if you jump off this roof.
Yeah. If you jump off this roof, we're gonna defund the police.
Yeah. Okay, I'm jumping, man.
That's one less leftist.
Yeah.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I don't know if you know, Charlotte's Web is the name of the operation going here in Charlotte.
Nice.
Ice guys.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Got to see stuff on the news. There's a little protest march over the weekend downtown.
Jesus.
So.
Yeah, we have that. We have here. So, and News 12 Long Island, that's so liberal. And, and Long Island's very conservative. And every time they're showing every weekend, these ICE protesters, there's like literally 30 fucking people standing out there. And that's the headline news. It shows just like the same thing with all this bullshit with Epstein, with Trump. What I mean? Trying to make, and that things are going in the right direction when this is what they have to make their lead stories.
Yeah.
Because they can't complain about eggs being $8 again. Not that they ever did, a carton. You know what I mean? And gas was $6 a gallon. They can't complain about real world problems. So that they so this is what they do. They go after Trump. Oh my God, did you see what he said? And he did this, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And then dragging up old stuff, even though Trump was exonerated by the woman in question that they're talking about.
Right.
The one who died. Remember that when she said, I'm not suicidal. And would she get in an accident or got hit by a truck?
Hit by a bus?
Yeah, something weird.
Something.
This is Russia all over again. Now it's just Epstein. Right. It's like they just keep throwing shit at the wall to see what'll stick, and just beat his reputation down.
Yeah, because
the thing is about this Epstein stuff is finally I heard Trump saying it. I think he said the other day actually about it's like if I am on that list or any way in that stuff. You think Biden? You think the Democrats wouldn't have used this like a year ago or whatever?
Where were they 4 years ago when they had the House and the Senate and the presidents?
Right, like none of it makes any sense. Like from that, if you just bring that fundamental truth to play, you'd have to be completely out of your mind to argue any further because that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So the only thing that makes sense at that point is if Biden or any of the Democrats are actually on that list and didn't want it to see the light of day. Or even if let's say Trump is on it and some of the Democrats are on it, either way, they don't want it to see the light of day. So this is kind of a moot point. And unless an investigator, unless they're going to actually file like crimes, you know what I mean? Unless they're actually going to file charges and go after some people, who gives a shit anyways? It's a list. It's his black book. He knows all these
Yeah,
people.
it
so
doesn't. It doesn't implicate anybody in anything.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So Giselle Maxwell is spending 25 years in prison for sex trafficking girls, underage girls, to nobody.
Right.
Right.
Who
That's
are those
the thing.
people? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all stupid, but like you said, it's look at that. Can they still back that?
See that? To my favorite president, keep fighting. That's going in the mail to Pennsylvania
Oh,
Avenue
nice.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Nice, buddy.
That's
Perfect.
awesome.
Shit.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm sending him two. I'm sending him that one and a blank one. I'm going to ask him to sign this one for me.
Nice.
Oh, dude, if you get that back, that would be so cool.
Oh yeah, it'll be amazing. I don't think I will, but if I do,
You never know.
Yeah, I'm going to write him a nice letter, tell him how much, I appreciate him and support and all that kind of
Excellent.
stuff.
Good.
You know what I found out, Graham, when I was a kid? Remember, what was her name? Rosemary something. She was Richard Nixon's, and she was in the Watergate. They brought her out. It was like his personal, like, secretary or whatever.
Okay.
Well, what they do is they have these people that they do answer these mail, these things. So she might, or whoever's working with, Trump, he might go, I'm just going to do it. This is kind of fun. It's a comic book. Just bring it in, the Oval Office.
Yeah.
He signs it. They send it back to Graham Nolan, and Graham Nolan's on cloud nine.
Yeah. I'm going to tell him I'm a small business guy, I'm, making my way and all that kind of stuff. And, just, the things
Next thing you know, there's going to be one. You're going to go to the Chanu campaign, and I'm making up a number because I don't know. Let's say you've got 420 backers right now, and a couple weeks from now, it's going to be or not a couple weeks, but whatever. It's going to be 421, but it's going to be blasted up by $1 million. You're going to be like, who backed this?
Yeah.
President Donald Trump. You're like, yeah.
But I probably didn't say this, but I used to write to Nixon, and that Rosemary used to send me stuff back.
Oh, cool.
So I still have those from when I was a kid.
No
And I guess
way.
I was asking about his family. And so I guess they had this printed thing, and it had Nixon and his family.
Yeah, they
his
sent
wife
Art back a tape.
Yeah, and then there was a tape, and I didn't know what to do with it. I played it. There was no music on it, so I just threw it away.
Yeah, he put his cassette thing in the car, and he's like, "There's no music on. It's just people talking."
It sounds like G. Gordon Liddy. What is this? Is this a G.
All
Gordon
the
Liddy radio
evidence.
show?
They still convicted, and they didn't need my tape.
That's right.
Oh man! All right, guys, we're coming up. We just hit the 2-hour mark.
Woo!
So we're gonna call it a night here. We miss our buddy Aaron. We hope that you're feeling
That's
better,
right.
buddy. It's dangerous when you go over to the grandkids' house because they're living petri dishes.
Yeah.
So
They'll take you down.
yeah, they will indeed. But
You remember when your kids were young, like the first couple of years when they start going to school, it's like you and your wife are sick constantly.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like every cold you never had, they bring home.
Yeah, and they were like bitching about COVID. It's like that's nothing, man. Have a kid start in school.
Well,
just about the time you're done, you're feeling better, you get sick again. And then
Do you remember when they used to put kids together for chicken pox parties?
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. One kid in the school had it, all the kids would come over for a sleepover. So they'd all get the chicken pox at the same time.
And they did it on purpose?
Yeah.
For immunity? What was
well, to get it out of the way,
Yeah.
That is a tough bunch of people, man. Let's take the bullet. Let's get it done.
Well, they're going to get it eventually. Let's all get it together so that we can get on with school, instead of having all these kids out.
There are still crazy germaphobes. Like I got an eye exam the other day. And so the doctor comes in and he's got a mask on. He's got one of those little respirator things. And I'm like, what do you got that on for? He goes to protect my customers. I go, protect them from what? And then I said, are you sick? He goes, well, no, I'm not sick. I said, so what are you protecting us from? He goes, well, kids come in, they're sick all the time. And I said, so it's protecting you? And then he's like, well, by protecting me, I'm protecting you too. Because they always try to make it sound like they're doing something for you, right?
Yeah.
And so then I said, that really doesn't protect you, right?
You're telling the eye doctor this, and the eye doctor's going, "Huh? Here, I thought I was the one that went to medical school." And I agree with you.
I'm telling. I don't care. I don't care. These people, they're just human beings, just like the rest of us, right? Yeah. And so then I'm just like, you can get viruses through your eyes. and he's like, yeah. I go, why aren't you wearing goggles? I just gave him a bunch of shit.
I'll see if mine wears one.
Well, see, the reason I hate it is because it spreads the paranoia. Like some idiot sees this guy and it's like, oh, well, he's making a bunch of sense. I'm going to wear one too. And before you know it, you got a bunch of these idiots wearing masks again. That's what I said to him. I said, don't you like freedom? He goes, freedom? He goes, I have freedom. I go, you don't have freedom to breathe fresh air.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You're breathing your own bad breath.
Yeah.
It's like wearing one of those Ted Post masks,
Yeah. And then I kept telling him I was
Don Post, man.
Yeah. I was giving him a ton of just crap. I just enjoy doing it. And so he's like, you have to do the eye test and stuff. And I go, how did I do? And then he doesn't want to answer, because he's not comfortable with grading. He doesn't want to grade people, right? I said, I think that R was a D. And he goes, yeah. He goes, yeah, it was. And I said, so really I only missed that one, right? He goes, yeah. So I kept doing that through the whole thing. And I go, so really I scored maybe like a 98 on this, right? He goes, you did pretty good.
What do you got here, Billy?
Oh, being that it's gotten so cold over here, I think we have an early Christmas coming. And did you guys see this?
No.
Oh, it actually gets airborne. Oh my God.
Watch this more. Wait, look at this, watch.
Oh my God.
Where is that?
I don't know. It's on Twitter.
Oh, that's funny.
It is.
He nothing up his ass.
Look, there he goes. Like,
oh my God, that's awesome.
It's like the reindeer are drunk. Like when it comes back, they're flying sideways.
Yeah.
Look how high in the air he goes. Watch, look, there he goes.
Yeah. And aren't they pushing him at the end? Like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh man, that's great. That's a good way to end with a laugh.
Funny.
Well, thanks everybody for watching. We always appreciate that here on the Bros. Next week we'll be at Aaron's, right?
Yeah,
starting over. Yeah, with the A's.
Start over at Aaron's as we are getting ready for Thanksgiving next week. So everybody's links are in the chat here that our mods have been putting up. I really appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
I have a live campaign with Shanu 77, and we will end it with that trailer. So have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Graham. Bye, everybody.
Most of the Buffalo area is paralyzed after blizzard conditions whipped through the area shortly before noon today. The combined effect of the Arctic temperatures and the strong winds between 40 and 60 degrees below zero.
And helicopters, 38 of them, are flying rescue and reconnaissance over western New York.
Buffalo gets visits from the governor, plows, equipment, and manpower from the Army and National Guard.
Governor Hugh Carey is requesting President Carter to declare Buffalo and Erie County a major disaster area. Hundreds of motorists have abandoned their automobiles to search for emergency shelter.
Stay in your car. All I can tell you is if you are stranded in your car, remain calm. There's a chance you could get killed out there.